Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
If you shave your cooch, but not your booty hole, is that the same as a mullet?
My tongue out her ass and left. I'm on TV! Oh shit! First cops, now this? Oh.
guys, I'm Bullhorn Betty, and this is the Bullhorn Betty channel, where we're taking a deep dive into Sebastian Rogers. We have been covering the case since the early part of March, prior to or the day of the interview of both mom and stepdad. What we learned was there were some questionable statements made. And then we started looking into the parents, which really ruffled the feathers of the mom, more importantly, the stepdad. He felt that if we just took all the drama out of this, there's nothing here to see except a teenage boy that just simply ran away from home. That couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, this mom and stepfather has hired some of the most vile people to assist them in locating their son, from past felons that are currently committing crimes to questionable people with questionable pasts, such as substance abuse, where one of their searchers is seen in the woods utilizing substances through a straw and a dollar bill up that person's nostrils, inhaling whatever it was that he was doing. Then you have another content creator that is filthy, which again is just representation of the people that they hire to assist them. And then lastly, one of the main supporters of the mom and stepdad has now 2 new civil actions against her, one for child custody and another one for stalking her ex-pregnant girlfriend. So, and then after that, an incident report came about where she or her other daughter put bruises on her youngest daughter's throat. Again, this just kind of embodies the type of people that are representing Sebastian's mom and stepfather. While I never criticize anybody's past, because let's face it, we all have one. It's the difference between somebody that has overcome that and has redeemed themselves versus somebody that has continuously done this throughout the pattern of their story and is continuing to do it. No redemption, no remorse, just continuing the same bad behavior over and over again, expecting different results. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers deserves better than this. He deserves the right type of people searching for him and looking for him. There has been a lot of statements made from the mom and the stepfather, predominantly the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. And I've got to say, the inconsistency, the anger, the vitriol, and the threats and intimidation that he has posed to just about anybody and everybody searching for his son, his stepson, has me very, very, very concerned, including my own arrest. For what? For doing my job and speaking out against him, as well as law enforcement in the area. This makes you take a back seat because you see parents that are spending more time trying to shut my mouth than they are searching for their own missing child that disappeared from their own home. Why? That is the question we should be all asking ourselves, is why? We're going to be going over this case a little more in depth. I hope you stay tuned. We have a lot to discuss and a new case to bring up. I thank you all for being here. I hope you take the time before we start to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. If you would like to help me with my legal expenses or just to support the efforts that we're doing, we have a variety of ways that you can contribute. From the GoFundMe to help me fight specifically with my legal expenses. We have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. We have an Amazon wish list if you just want to give me a thank you item or buy something special for the Lila. Again, this is truly a family, and we've truly come together for the sake of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And we're going to continue to fight for him. And we're going to continue to expose the mom and stepdad's weird behaviors and inconsistent statements. And we're going to expose those around them that are doing nefarious things to prevent the search or Sebastian being found. I hope you guys support all the creators that have come together to say no to this nonsense and to keep Sebastian first and foremost. God bless each and every one of you watching this, and have a great day. What we do know as fact, however, is that Seth has been searching for his son ever since his son disappeared. Seth has publicly taken a polygraph. He has publicly produced his work records. This man has done everything he could possibly do, including working with the FBI, working with me to advocate for his son, calling on the national media, getting Nick the Hat and Dog the Bounty Hunter, and we're here with what from the mom and stepfather? Nothing for almost 10 months. Shoddy searches at best, working with an unscrupulous PI, felons, and including one searcher utilizing substances, illicit substances, while searching for their son. Well, good morning, my beautiful coffee beans, TGIF. And happy Valentine's Day to you. I feel the love in the air today. So we're going to drag out our intro while we say hi to everybody, because we're about to get gunked up with not so much loving feeling. So it's nice to see you. Our beautiful Sonia is up in the house saying good morning to Passion Flower. It's nice to see you ladies up in the house. Audrey, good morning. Kim, the real me too. Brianna's World, Kathleen, Maggie, it's nice to see you all here this morning. Robin, it's great to have you. YouTuber, Linda. Chaos is up in the house, creating chaos up in the house. Tina, it's nice to see you this beautiful Valentine's Day morning. MJ, me and you. Karen says, I'd be severely upset if those two were my parental types in one side of my family. Walking on eggshells is all I can imagine for the things they've said and done to him and about him. Amen to that. It's nice to see everybody coming in, dreaming of blue skies and sandy beaches. Good morning, my love. Peggy, good morning. Jackie, it's nice to see you. To Cray, it's nice to see you. Panda Bear's mom, good morning. Phil up in the house, swimming from across the pond to be here with us. It's nice to see you. Tina, Samantha, good morning. Our beautiful Melanie up in the house saying happy Valentine's Day to all. We love you. Big hugs and kisses this wonderful, beautiful morning. Kaz is in the house. It's nice to see you. Finally managed to make a live. Yay! It's nice to see you, Kaz. We're glad you are here with us. We are definitely glad you are here with us. Crystal Pistol, VA, it's nice to see you. Lady Roses is up in the house. Angelina, good morning. Kendra. Who else do we have? Holston, it's nice to see you, love. Stephanie, it's nice to see you as well. Good morning. Crispy is in the house being crispy. Rosemary, it's nice. Oh, Rosemary, it's nice to see you, love. Sorta Morta. Rena, it's nice to see you. Donna. Good morning. SI Officer Frank, good morning. Our beautiful Robin up in the house saying happy love day to all. Love you. Let's get some precious love up in the house. Come on. Don't be so shy. It's Valentine's Day. She's all cuddly and I had the best Valentine's Day ever. She woke up with me, and then we played, and then we went outside, and then we played, and then she went and laid on the couch for a little bit, and then she heard the music, and she's like, oh, it's time. It's showtime.
SRK, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Good morning. I thought you guys would all love to hear this V-Day. Veronica, good morning. Hope floats. Janet, oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. God bless you. Roller Girl, good morning. Mary, good morning. It's nice to see you all here in the house. Crafty Girl, KJ, it's nice to see you. Did I say hi to you, Peggy? I can't remember. If I didn't, good morning. Reserve glitching. Love it. Love it. Kay, it's nice to see you. Laura, good morning. The Hen House. It's nice to see you. True Crime Junkies up in the house this morning. Busy Mama. Tinks, good morning. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? Just Debbie. Big hugs and kisses to you. Happy Valentine's Day, love. Lady Justice is up in the house. Good morning. Aw, Michelle, big hearts. 8 months you've been with me. Good gracious. How do you put up with my butt this long? Jen in Jersey, it's nice to see you. Jamie, good morning. Hey, Tracy. Saying, hey, Valentine's to all. It's nice to see you, love. Renee, good morning. Karen, we have another Karen up in the house. It's great to see you, Love Bug. I hope you're doing well today. Aw, thank you. Gifted 1 Bullhorn Betty membership. To the lucky person, welcome to the fam, the crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Brown Eye Girl, I'm pushing the buttons. I'm pushing the buttons this morning. Oh, good gracious. Oh, good gracious. Cindy, it's nice to see you. Southern Grammy. Gigi, good morning. Caroline, Still Waters, it's nice to see you all here this morning. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling the love here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I hope you guys are too. Buckshot, it's nice to see you. All right, guys, now that we're done with our love fest, I know it's just, it always feels so good coming in here. We get the good music. We're bebopping along. You guys don't even want to see me behind the screen. I'm singing along. I'm dancing. Delilah side-eyeing me saying, what the heck got a hold of my mama? And then we dive in and then it's like, ugh, good gracious, gunk, just gunk. And it's gunk other human beings do to each other. And we just can't get past it. Like, what in the world is going on, right? What in the world is going on? Good morning, Southern Grammy. Thank you, by the way. God bless you. God bless you. Happy Valentine Day from Babe to Delilah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got to tell you, I get some of the cutest little puppy photos ever. And they just brighten my day. Some of you guys really don't. Like, I thought because I call her naked when she's just in her birthday suit, just her fur, right? So she's naked right now. But she doesn't really go out of the house. When we go places, she's got to get dressed. And I got to tell you, some of the photos I have, these dogs are just dolls. I mean, they are just dolls. They're cute as a button. They're dressed to the nines. I got to tell you, they melt my heart. So if you guys have those lovely little animal photos, send them to me. I love them. They do brighten my day because you guys know behind the scene, I'm working on a whole bunch of gunk, right? I see the worst of humanity. Seeing some little brown-eyed beauties, right? Some blue eyes. But mostly brown-eyed beauties. They really uplift you. I got to tell you, since you guys remember when Delilah was about to come, like I didn't know how I was going to do it. And we talked about it on this channel ad nauseum, right? Like, what am I going to do? And then Eminem, and I was really nervous. And then Eminem sent me this outfit. And it was that very first outfit that I got for Delilah that just made me, now I was longing for. Like, I see this cute little, shirt. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's going to look so cute in this, right? And so then I start getting really excited for her, but still nervous because, I'm on the road. I'm worried about, I can't, like, waking up this morning on Valentine's Day and getting a face full of kisses. There's nothing that compares to that. That really just, it sets the tone for the rest of the gunky day, because that's what we do. We gunky. So it's nice to see you all here. Karen, I said hi to just Deb. Who else did I miss here? Kimberly, it's nice to see you. Luna Livonia, it's nice to see you. Cara Lovett, it's nice to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. You know what? Your name, I need a shout out to Love It. We haven't seen Love It in a while, but big shout out. She's watching from the bushes. Happy Valentine's Day, my friend. Andrea as well. She's not always in here. All of my people, my angels behind the scenes. Good morning and happy Valentine's Day. Susie, it's nice to see you. Crafty girl. Me and you, did I say good morning to you? I feel like I have, but I'm not sure. Good morning, Eeyore. It's nice to see you. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Monica, good morning. Aw, such a beautiful message. Good morning. Good morning. A little bit of everything. Nice to see you. Good morning. Hi, Betty. Coffee Club. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you. Fueled by coffee and crime. Good morning. Good morning. All right. You stragglers out there. Good morning to all. Look at thank you, Kimberly. If you received your gifted membership, don't forget to tell Kimberly thank you and welcome to the crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Let's do another one just for good measure. That's scary on this side of the screen. Oh my goodness. Alcoholic, it's nice to see you. Good morning. KJ, good morning. I think we got just about everybody. If I missed somebody, I do apologize. Oh, look, I got time today. Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Love you and the Coffee Club, best mods ever. We do have the best mods ever. They're just sweet as all get out, right? And they do their part. I love that. You know, this is a lot of people like to complain about the Bullhorn Betty channel, but you know what? We're out there in the communities. I practice what I preach. You know, I'm here in my own community, trying to make a difference. We just want to make sure that all the women, because when I started this, it was in the political realm, and it was never, I mean, I'm very strong on my political ideology and stuff like that. And I know other people are too, and God bless them for that, whether they agree with me or not. But when I got started in this, it was to empower women. I feel like the woman's voice was diminishing. And I mean, it never really got to a point in our society where, you know, it's always been impactful. We're making our way through the impactful area, but it was more in line with empowering women, not just empowering Republican women, which a lot of people try to think I'm just on one side of the aisle. I'm not. I tell you guys, if you have a cause you believe in, you get out and fight for your cause lawfully and illegally. Don't go out in the roads and duke it out. That's not what I'm talking about. But you raise your voice in the areas that has the most impact. And I like people to see me doing it, because I feel like that when they see somebody else, especially if they can't stand what I say, right? It makes them want to participate, right? Because they hate what I say, and how could there not be anybody, you know, challenging this or challenging that? That's where you get involved, and that's where you get your voice. You don't have to be the same voice as Bullhorn Betty. Find your own voice and be who you are. And that's really what we try to bring to the table here, and to inspire people to do better in their communities, do better in their life. If they're struggling, them have the confidence and the know-how that it's them. They are the key to their own change. You know, going down the same roads over and over again and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. And so I just like to carve a little bit of sanity out of all the insane in this world and give that power back to the people that watch me. It has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with us. It has to do with us doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. It has to do with us getting out there and being the voice for people that are voiceless. That's what we want our audience to do. And if they can't do it, to impress upon them to find, programs and stuff that they can get behind, where those people can go out and achieve what they cannot because they're working, they don't have the time, they're raising a family, but there's always something everybody can do in their own life and in their own community to improve it for them and those around them. So I hope that we do inspire. This is how we inspire. And unfortunately, we talk about a lot of ugliness in this world. And I think the ugliness in the world for us empowers us to do better for ourselves, so we're not part of that ugliness. So I do think that needs to be, what are we going? Who is UTI? It's the unscrupulous PI. He's the UTI of this case. That's who he is. We don't plug people. Everybody says I'm so jelly and stuff like that. If I was so jelly, I'd be plugging his name, right? Trying to get some clout off of that douchebag's name. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We don't need to name shame over here. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. Good morning, Panda Bear's mom says, thank you for all you do. Let's bring these missing kids home. Happy Valentine's Day. Love and hugs. Aw, thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right, now that we're over our love fest, good morning, everyone. Oh, thank you, Betty. What about KP's friend Lori? Wasn't she there? Yes, she was. That's been a little skeptical or not skeptical to me, but that's been a little weird to me because I feel like she got there the next day. I don't think she was there that day. I think there was something, but I want to know. But I haven't been able to corroborate. We know she was there after Sebastian disappeared. We know that for a fact. The question is when did she get there? Right? Because we hear she's from several states over. So at what point did she get there? I mean, if she was there bright and early and had a 10-hour drive from her home, well, then she learned about it long before it was reported. I mean, there are definitely different ways we can look at it. But I for whatever reason, I think we might have some of that information skewed. But we know that the friend was there. But we need to hone in on when that friend got there. So maybe you guys can send me over some receipts or something like that. And so we can talk intelligible about that topic. But unfortunately, right now, we don't have a whole lot related to the friend to go off of. We do see her in a couple pictures from those first few days of the Sebastian Rogers missing person case. That was like the February 26th, 27th, 28th, maybe even spilled into the 29th. I'm not sure the time because we see photos. But the problem is there, you have to have a special program that puts the date and time stamp on those photos for you for them to be logged properly. So, and the only other place that I think you can really get the ID, the date and time of that is through the metadata on that photo. Or sometimes they have all that information in the title of that photo is saved on your phone. So there's several ways you can get it, but nobody's produced that. So we see a bunch of photos and we're trusting the person that's uploading it to remember the exact date and time that it was uploaded. What if they say it was from the 26th and it was from the 27th? Those are critical mistakes that I don't want to get, honed in on. But what we can say is that the friend Lori definitely did show up at the house. That we know for a fact. When? That's up for interpretation because we really don't know outside of rumors. That's really it. All right, we'll be going into the Sebastian Rogers case here in just a few moments. We're going to take a few moments to talk about another case that happened about 10 years ago. One of our audience members have brought this particular case up, and I remember hearing about this case, and I forgot about it. And this was one that really did take the national spotlight in the news because it was under very unusual and weird circumstances at a gym. And I know as soon as you start hearing this, you'll realize that this is the case too. This case has not been resolved yet. I don't think. This came about a year ago, we need some more information on this. I think they said he fell. I'm just going off of memory. I didn't watch this clip before I played it because I got through the first, 30 seconds of it, and I remembered the case. And nobody's been held accountable, and people are trying to say that he did this to himself. Again, here it is. I don't want people to forget. This is at the request of one of our audience members.
It's been more than 10 years since this teenager, Kendrick Johnson, was found dead, rolled up inside a wrestling mat in the gym of a South Georgia high school.
Yes, this was a story that made national headlines. A lot of people were concerned. And this morning, his parents are here in Atlanta. So Atlanta News First reporter Bridget Spencer is live for us this morning outside the federal courthouse. So Bridget, what's going on?
Good morning, guys. This is going to be basically a direct response to Sheriff Ashley Polk's investigation that he performed last year. That was back in early 2022. Now, if you can recall, a decade ago, Kendrick Johnson, he was 17 years old when his body was found in a rolled up wrestling mat in the gym at Lowndes High School. Now, the death was ruled an accident, even after the current sheriff, Ashley Polk, took a second look at the case in 2022.
I remember that.
Kendrick Johnson's parents, they are saying they are really not.
And I got to agree. I mean, they're basically saying he was doing some type of exercise and basically fell in and couldn't get out. How could he not scream? You know, this comes back to the whole Ellen Greenberg. This is why it's hard for me. Listen, I'm a back the blue person. If you ask anybody, I want them to have the any community, any county, any city to have the absolute best police department and absolute best investigators on the case. But what we've learned, especially in the Ellen Greenberg, is that law enforcement, if they screw up a case, they are willing to doctor evidence to hide that. Okay, now that's not the cream of our crop, okay, of law enforcement. And we should not be painting law enforcement with a broad brush because of some bad actors. But we do have bad actors that make poor decisions when it comes to the loss of life of our people, okay? I don't want to say children because Ellen Greenberg was an adult. She was a teacher. But common sense told you the lady didn't unalive herself. And that was the most, I think, the most egregious I've ever seen. This one, and we have another one, Jason in Virginia. He's another one that I think law enforcement totally screwed up and has tried to say he did something to himself when I believe that child was murdered. This is another one that they believe was an accident. Like, I want reenactment. You don't come here and tell me when we have a child rolled up in a mat that it was an accident. I want to see how in the world you came up with he put himself in a freaking mat and rolled himself up. Okay? It doesn't make sense. And we need to remember that. Law enforcement is great, but they themselves make mistakes, mostly unintentionally, but some are intentional. And it's intentional not because of corruption or to protect the assailant. It's to protect the fact that they screwed up the investigation royally. And I think if anybody throws an investigation to hide their own mistakes, I think that should be criminal. That is, to me, obstruction of justice, and law enforcement is not immune to being charged when intentional conduct is had. These are investigations. Oh, sorry, guys. I moved my cord and it unplugged my, give me just a second. Let's see if we can get this up. No, it's already triggered my, let me do my virtual. It's not letting me do any virtual. Hold on a second. This is not right. Jeez. Did I get it? Still not going to do it. All right. We may just have to go the way we're going here. This irritates the piss out of me. All right. If my backgrounds they're not loading. It's going to drive me nuts. I hate when my camera's unplugged. I hate the finickiness of the attachments. Like these MacBook computers only give you the C4 ports for the C. So you have to constantly be using it, accessories to attach USB cords because everything's freaking USB except all the new stuff. And then there's C. I don't know. Anyways, quit complaining, Andrew. All right, let's get back to this and finish this video about this child. But again, another case where I don't believe this was an accident.
Convinced that this was an accident due to some inconsistencies in the way their son's body was handled. They say investigators need to take a look at evidence from the third autopsy. Today, they're going to be filing a response to the sheriff's 2022 investigation right here in federal court in Atlanta.
So another family that has to take law enforcement to court to get a resolution to the death of their child. The Greenbergs were successful. This was over a year ago when this recording here was brought about. Where are we at today? I don't know.
Read the third autopsy report, people.
3 autopsy reports. They're not taking no for an answer. They know something happened to their child.
Don't take my word for it. Read the third autopsy report. It doesn't state what he said.
The documents I've read and things, the investigation I've seen, I feel 100% sure there was no foul play. It's a terrible accident, in my opinion.
A terrible accident that a child winds up. Look at that. Look at that. That boy managed to fall into that. Cut it out. Cut it out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And in these areas, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but this doesn't make sense to me. And this is in Georgia, I'm sorry. I don't know where this area is, but I just don't trust these small towns. I just don't. I don't. I think they need more money and they're not getting enough funding. And it causes their investigations not to be properly handled. All right, guys, I wanted to bring up Sebastian's dad, Seth Rogers, as well as his national spokesperson, Tony Mathis, is going to be on the Lore Lodge in 3 days. 3 days. I believe it's Monday. They're going to be having an interview. I can't wait to hear it. It's already been set up. I just dropped the link. Please go over there and get notified so you do not miss this live. I expect it to be an absolute and utter madhouse in chat. Okay. So be patient. I don't know if they're going to regulate it or slow down the chat or anything like that. So be cognizant of the questions you want to have asked because they will be drowned out. When you have a large show where there are an ungodly amount of people, I will be honest with you, the only way your questions are going to be seen is if you do super chats. Not that I'm promoting super chats or anything like that. It's just that when you have several thousand people in there, you cannot see the messages. You guys are chat. You guys go to chats a lot. You should know this. So if you do have any questions and you do not want to have to super chat your question, it would be my suggestion to email or write on X some questions you have for the Lore Lodge to ask. That would be the best way to get your question in front of Seth and asked. That's just my opinion. Again, I don't even know if the Lore Lodge is going to answer or ask your question or not, but that would be the best way, especially those that are offended by super chats, to ask their questions. that's the best way to do it. Now that you know, you've got 3 days to get your questions in. So please utilize your time wisely. Think of good, creative questions that will bring some enlightenment to the Sebastian Rogers case. All right, guys, thank you so much for allowing me to bend your ear. So I started seeing some emails come in from a lot of people, and I didn't even know like whether Hong is back on Twitter or they've been writing or whatever, because I haven't been checking in probably as much as I should. But we're very thankful to a content creator called War Damn Eagle, and we absolutely adore War Damn Eagle. And so they're taking some clips of some Hong posts. And so I thought it was pretty interesting and wanted to read these into the record this morning for all of you. I thought they might be a little satire-y, but I believe they're very pointed and very specific messages. So the one here says, wait until they see NASCAR, Jeff Gordon Webb. So he's making like kind of a poke, I would assume, at Katie, because he says, get this lady let her kid go missing, and then she went looking for him. She drove like you. She was looking for a way out because she cut corners better than Mr. Gordon himself. And I think that was based upon the video that showed her when she tried to say she went around the neighborhood looking for her son. And there's a video of her backing out of her driveway and literally going out of her community, never once looking up and down the roads of her own community, and then not even going into the driveway of the school and wrapping around kind of where Warsham's is before coming back through that same way and heading back home. Never once stopping that we could see on camera, and definitely never once going up to the door of her child's school to see if he made it in. So I think that's what that is related to. Here's another one. Sebastian's life, tweeting his story like a joke. Bastards, traffickers, drug dealers, drug addicts, abusers, wife beaters, enablers, sex offenders, pedo Carl, pedo Penny, pedo Proudfoot monsters. It seems like there was no short of words going on. Neighbors who cooperate, and this is a true statement. Neighbors who cooperate with anyone other than Flasher are subject to ridicule and labeled suspects publicly. I bet Chris Carl called Flasher. Interesting. Chris Carr, which is the neighbor behind them. I don't know if I want to lay blame. I don't know the guy. If Blower Sock spent 1/3 of her connections to find Sebastian instead of protecting her name, they'd find him. But then she'd be in jail. So she's in a bad spot. That's an opinion, again, of the Bower Sox. It sounds like Kathy specifically he's referring to. And I know we learned yesterday as part of our show. I can't remember if it was the morning show or the evening show. I think it was the morning show. We went over a call. It was the morning show. We went over a call from 5D. 5D had dropped a call that was on Gaping Lake's channel. And so what she ended up, it ended up being great because we were able to get some context from it. But it was an employee or past employee from Terry's prior work. And I found it kind of interesting because he brought up Champion. And somebody had sent me this. I believe it might have been Andrea. I don't remember who sent this, and I can't look without doxing somebody, so I'm not going to do it. But somebody in our audience sent me this, and it does kind of corroborate that this is something that Terry apparently worked at some point or something like that. Now we're going to get into this because this is what brought me here. And it looks like nothing stops with Team Hong. Hong is still going strong on his Twitter. Don't forget to go up and never forget or miss any important key information again. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Only Hong, baby. Only Hong, right? And it says Flasher couldn't educate himself out of AA, let alone this. is such a bittersweet day. If you think we're dropping it, he really is stupid. Apparently, he submitted his appearance into the federal case. I just find it's kind of hard not to have. I know we love Hong, right? We love Hong. I can't wait to give him a big old fat hug and a kiss. I'm just gonna plant one right on his cheek. I'm gonna go. Mwah! I'm gonna go. Mwah! Right. The at night private intelligence, in all fairness, they're my hero. Okay, they're just my hero. So I'm very, very appreciative of that. And all you need is Jesus says $15,000 could have paid for 3 months of school that was supposedly too expensive for Sebastian. Amen. Amen. But not too expensive to keep this misinformation going. Great and valid point. Great and valid point. Good gracious. You are absolutely, without a doubt, correct. Without a doubt, correct. Thank you so very much for that statement. All right. So now we're going to get over to something. This is from, it looks like Mike Dam. Who put this up? I can't see who. It looks like it might be still from Mike Dam. I don't know if it's recreated by somebody or not, but I wanted to hear this. It's in my wheel, so I've already watched it this morning. I don't know what, I can't remember what it says. I think it might be about, gosh, I can't remember.
This is a case that will go.
Oh, it's the statements. That's right. It's all the weird statements. Let's listen to this as we roll into the topic.
This is a case that will go down as a researched study case where they're asking the questions and looking for answers and literally nothing. Everything they try to come up with.
Oh, thank you, Tara.
I mean, it's. We've been told this is probably one of the largest searches that they've conducted with so much input that it's a case to be studied for sure. This is a case that will go down as a research.
I don't know. I've always had problems with those statements. But here's one from Evil Exists, and I thought this was fairly interesting as well. And then we're about to hit the we have one more thing before we hit the thumbnail.
Sebastian went missing from his home, and his mother and stepfather decided to leave the last place he was seen at and go camping. Who does that? I also heard that Sebastian's missing posters cannot be seen on her car or where they are currently staying. This behavior is highly alarming, considering that people...
Think about that. I want to go back. Think about that. A mom and father, or stepfather rather, have a missing child. At the first couple weeks, they had flyers all over their vehicles. Everybody says they don't tear down flyers. Well, here's the evidence they do. Right here. Why would they remove? And this was before this is back in March. You know how we know it was back in March? Because they left that campground. I can't remember exactly when, but I think it was at the end of the March. I think they were home by March 14th, and they turned around right after, I think, Smiley's World. I can't remember when they went back to this park, but this was at the end of March. At the end of March, their child hadn't even been gone a whole month, and they've already ripped off all the signage from their own vehicles. So for those people that keep saying that we're lying, they're not ripping down signs, here's the proof. We all know their cars were littered with them. Why all of a sudden did they stop? They rip all the signs down? Is it because nobody believed the Poor Pity Me, song and dance? That is, to me, I just can't grasp it. I can't grasp it. A child's missing and the parents aren't looking and the parents have no signage. If you were going into that park, I bet you both those people right there in those vehicles were probably acting normal and acting like nothing's wrong, just living their best life. What you bet?
Or where they are currently staying. This behavior is highly alarming, considering that people who have never met Sebastian in their lives are advocating for him and raising awareness using missing posters on their cars, etc. Just alarming to say the least that his own mother is doing nothing to find him. What I'm about to share with you is so alarming and disturbing that I don't know what to say. Remember Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological dad, said that someone was sabotaging his search for his son. Someone was also taking down the missing posters for Sebastian. I asked myself who would do such a horrible thing. This is an innocent missing child that needs to be found. Only a person who doesn't want Sebastian found would do such a thing. Well, I came across this video of Sebastian's grandmother saying that they have video of Chris tearing down the posters, saying that they will never find Sebastian. Take a look.
Oh, well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
You too. Can I give you a hug too?
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
Absolutely, darling.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have been walking and walking and walking.
We've been all the way around. Yeah. Oh. Back over. Took that little trail all down that side, that other side of the lake. Oh.
And went in all where the backwaters has been.
Yeah.
Seth told us earlier and said that somebody had a video of Chris tearing down. Tearing down posters saying they're never going to find it.
Tearing down posters saying they're never going to find them. And I want to remind people, this is Sebastian's grandmother that came in from Texas. And is out there in the woods searching when the mother that gave birth to this child was not. Just want to make sure you guys understand that.
Yeah.
Seth told us earlier and said that somebody had a video of Chris tearing down. Tearing down posters saying they're never going to find it. I tell you, it's unlikely.
In other news.
So there you have it. Now, this is going to be one thing that I'm going to tell everybody, and I've been running this almost on a daily basis here because there was remains that were found in Cumberland County at the entrance of some type of animal wildlife reserve. It's Mount Roosevelt State Park, and everybody was blowing up my inbox. And so I've ran this. This is like the third time I've ran this, I believe. And this is based on Jennifer Coffindaffer. She's the one that posted this on her X page. And then I looked into it, and it looks like this makes sense. This gentleman, his name's Cody Ramsey. The remains, the skeleton remains that were found were off of Westall Road. He actually disappeared 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, from Westall Road. So this all really does make sense. He was from the area, from that specific road, and he had disappeared a couple years prior to these remains being located. So it is of my belief they will be more likely than not Cody Ramsey's remains. So please keep in your prayers Cody's family. They've been waiting for several years to find out what happened to him. Now, the DNA results are not in, so this is just an opinion. This is speculative in nature. But the reason why I believe this is the person, and it's not just because of Jennifer Coffindaffer's post, it's because he was literally from that specific area when he disappeared. And because we're dealing with skeletal remains, I said they would have been there for a significant amount of time, more than a year. He's over 2 years in the missing persons database. This does just, it feels right for, a preliminary identification. So please keep his family in your thoughts and prayers today because, I truly believe it's going to end up being him. All right. So what am I talking about on my thumbnail with all those people in the common area of the alleged Proudfoot common area. It is because of the unscrupulous PI. Dun, 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 dun. And our friend, Lauren from Facebook, it's just Lauren. I think she couldn't have made this statement any better than this. It is, to me, absolutely hilarious. She says, you know what FFS stands for, right? If you don't, I can't, it's for F's sakes. Okay, that's what FFS stands for. And so she's like, FFS UTI, here it is. Okay. On top of the 3 a.m. boyfriend, the guy taking out the trash, the person walking the dog, the Uber that knew it was an Uber, the construction worker, the dump truck driver, and the trash truck driver. One of Bobby's kids was lying in wait out there that night, too. Right? As well, right? Is that everybody? Is everyone outside the Proudfoot home in the middle of Sunday night accounted for now? Right? Come on, guys. Oh, yeah. Hey, Lauren, you forgot to include the mannequin. You forgot to include the mannequin. That does make sense, though, when she says it like that, does it not? Like, how many people? Why is everything lagging on here for some reason? Is it this? Oh, it's probably this. Let's move this off. My computer's getting gunky as I delete everything. Hopefully that fixes everything up. It doesn't. So this one person, this unscrupulous PI, we have one car and 2 flashlights that we need to account for. And with all, I like Lauren too. I know whispering when she, I like her smart assiness, right? Because she really just does, like, you know, come on now, like really FFS, right? So we have had many different, much like the mom and stepdad, the inconsistent stories, but the plethora of stories, right? And here we go with their own hired PI that was hired to run interference into this case, has brought up a boyfriend, girlfriend, has brought up a person taking out the trash, has brought up somebody walking their dog, has brought up the Uber driver, has brought up possibly somebody from the construction site walking to work, the dump truck driver, and the trash truck driver. And then when that wasn't enough and people in the neighborhood stopped cooperating or wanting to turn over any type of video or speak to this idiot, then all of a sudden Bobby's kid was lying in wait as well, right? So all of this activity is happening outside of the Proudfoot home at 3 a.m. in the morning in the middle of their common area. Does that make sense to you? If that does make sense, and we believe that this is a super active midnight community, please put a 1 in the chat. If you think this UTI is full of it, you're more than welcome to put a pile of poop or a number 2 in the chat. I'll let you guys decide. But here it is. How can all of these people be sitting in the middle of this? Now, remember, it's pitch black, right? It's pitch black. Cameras are working, right? We got cameras across the street from this house being able to pick up the lights going off, on and off on the inside of Sebastian's own private room. You got flashlights on the outside of the house. But all of a sudden, you don't see anybody walking up and down the road. But somehow we got a freaking block party in the middle of a common area on the outside of this child's home hours before he was reported missing. Can somebody please make that make sense to me and everybody else watching this show? Because I know we got some haters out there, right? We got some haters in the bushes. So please, haters, step up to the plate and explain that to me. How are we having a block party in the middle of a common area at 3 a.m. in the morning? Syphilis, don't need employment. It's free agent. This is what I think of the UTI.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
And he's full of what?
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
All right. And what do we want him to do?
Yo, bro, shut up.
That's what I thought. I love my buttons. No, but worth looking into considering trafficking, traveling kids, and other cases. I think that the stuff, in this particular case, I know we still have a portion of our audience that believes that Sebastian might be part of SA, ST, whatever the case may be, and I don't want to distract you from that. It's just when I'm doing my research, it is literally the lowest probability of possibilities in this case. If he wasn't so sheltered, if he wasn't so isolated by his mom and stepfather, I would believe that it would have a higher gauge on the list of possibilities than it does. But this child was abused. This child was isolated to hide that abuse. And this child didn't have friends that could come over to his house or that he could go over to their house. So, and he was basically stripped of all human privileges, right? He got in trouble for grabbing snacks out of the cupboard. He wasn't allowed to play on the internet. He was made to stay in his room. He seemed to always be in trouble. So it's really hard for me now. Not that it's not a real thing. Of course, it's a real thing, and we need to look at those factors in other cases. But for me, in this case, it just doesn't fit. It no matter how we try to make it fit, the probability of it is so low. The highest probability in this case is that somebody from his own family did it. That's just statistically. Before we even look into the statements and listen to the story from any of the parents, that's statistically. This child's autistic. The likeliness of abuse goes through the roof. The likeliness of a parental violent act goes through the roof. So a familial, maybe I shouldn't say parental, maybe I should say familial, but caretaker, okay? Caretaker harming the victim goes through the roof when they are medically needy, okay? That's why it's easy, like when we have our elderly parents in, say, nursing homes and stuff like that. It's so easy in an environment like that to neglect and harm a patient. That's why it's very important, if your parent or family member goes to a facility like that, that you regularly visit. The patients that get regular visitors are better taken care of, statistically. Just to let you know, the ones that don't get visitors, they're neglected more times than not. Not that visiting makes the bad, caretaker, but it's the caretaker. Okay. It doesn't have to be familial. It doesn't have to be parental, but whenever you have a medically needy person, the caretaker is the chances of them being abused and or neglected by the caretaker go up, period. I don't know what the percentages are of that, but that it is a true statement. So I'm just trying to impress upon people that, yeah, there is a possibility that he could have been abducted by an abductor, a third party. But the probability of that statistically in his particular scenario is very low. And those are the things that we look at. I have had problems with the story for some time, but I didn't go like
It's hard to explain because I was very skeptical of the mom and stepfather, but I was going through some of my own personal issues at the time. And because of that, I was ultra cautious with the case because I didn't want to have the chip on my shoulder rub off on the case. So I was very cautious in my commentary about this case on the mom, the stepfather, including the father, until the video was released from Chronicles of Olivia. When I first viewed that, within the first 3 minutes, I knew the parents were lying. And as soon as that, if you watch my commentary and go back prior to Chronicles of Olivia's interview and watch me from the time of Chronicles of Olivia's interview to now, you will see that change. Because that change in me happened when I knew definitively that the mom and stepfather were lying about their story and adding additional details into their story. That was the moment that I knew conclusively, because it was so blatant. If you watch all the interviews up to Chronicles of Olivia and you listen to Chronicles of Olivia, that's when the change happened in me. That's when I no longer believed it was a chip on my shoulder, the way I was feeling about this case. It was truly the parents are hiding something. At that point, I knew for a fact in my makeup, in my DNA, that they were not being truthful and held back a lot of information. And were flat out, in some cases, fabricating a story. Because we had a lot of information that people didn't realize up front, whether we shared that or not. We collected a lot of information. I personally collected a lot of information. When they had those that big search where they were kicked off the federal property, I was sitting here at home, but I had several of my people out there. My personal people out there. And they were giving me the lay of the land. Chronicles of Olivia were out there, right? We had the lay of the land. We knew exactly what was going on as it was going on. We had people talking to some of the people we had out there, some of the neighbors. We had a lot of information up front, whether we disclosed that to our audience or not, because again, their statements, they're not corroborated. You have to kind of hold on to them as you build out the facts of those statements and the facts that they were provided to you. And so over the course of the time, a lot of the statements that we heard in those initial days, even though I wasn't physically there, have ended up becoming a reality or holding water. There were a few things that didn't hold water. Those initial days, we heard that, the guy behind their house and Katie were, doing things. I don't believe that was the case. We've talked to multiple neighbors and nobody saw any type of funny business going on. Okay. The tea has been dropped over the course of these several months, but we had a lot of information, like from statements that were made to Sebastian. Those took about, almost 2 months to verify. So we had information. Now it's well known that they were out there. Chris was screaming in the front yard, screaming at Katie, saying it's him or me, calling Sebastian an artard. A bunch of derogatory stuff, PUSSY. All of those things we learned about those initial days right there in and around that search time before the mom and dad took off in their camper in the middle of searching. And those things took almost 2 months to verify. So now those things are out to the public, but it took months to get that verified. People were throwing that stuff around right and left. It came along with the whole pressure cleaner of the RV and the mattress and him having to sleep on the mattress and stuff like that. None of those have ever. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't sleep on that mattress. I'm just saying that there was no corroboration of those statements from any of the neighbors. I don't know where those were manufactured from, but he was sprayed with water, but not from a pressure cleaner. Or if it was, I think they said it was like
shot up in the air. It wasn't like a direct pressure cleaner on Sebastian, but I think it was just a hose. But those things are still unclear. But as far as the statements were made, those were the statements. Now, 2 weeks prior to, we learned that Chris was at the Texas Roadhouse with Katie and him. And I think that was the beginning part of February that was referred to when Chris came home. And I also believe they had a teachers meeting during that time he came home as well. And something happened in the restaurant where Chris, kind of lost his temper and ended up storming out of the restaurant from what we've learned. Now, a lot of people confused that particular incident with the incident that happened on February 25th. But as you guys can see, the videos. Chris was not there. Chris was not there. You watch them sit down. Chris was not with them when they sat down. Chris was not with them when they got up. Chris was not there. So in order for us to have a statement related to Chris, it happened before this incident. And we know that he came back at the beginning of February. That is well established. We know that there was some type of parent meeting that all three parents attended. We don't know the exact date of that, but we know it was sometime in early February. So we're starting to develop, a view of what may have happened, at least from the end of January to February 26th. It doesn't seem like it's all pink butterflies and happy times, okay? It sounds like this family was in crisis. They were ignoring the crisis that they were in. They were trying to hold the fort down long enough to get Sebastian over to his father's. They're finally at the end of their nightmare. That's I'm speaking on their behalf. I'm not speaking on my behalf. But I feel like like I said, I believe that Katie learned over time to resent her son. Look at all the people that she was around, right? Look at all the people she was around. Not one person cared for her son. And I think over time, she got comfortable not caring for him either. But either way, she was facing losing everything. She was facing getting a divorce. She was facing losing her home and all the things that she loved, because she's going to be one income's going to be removed. This is a man that doesn't mind moving on. She's number 5. He's been working on Terry Lynn to be number 6 and God knows who else, because remember, he works the weekends a lot. Right. So, where was this going to leave Katie? Plus, she's trying to go to school. She's responsible for that house, keeping that house clean, keeping the exterior clean, and dealing with a medically needy child that, in all intents and purposes, didn't look like a happy boy when he left the Texas Roadhouse. Did a fight ensue at the house that went a little too far? Is it possible? Yeah, it is. Is it possible that he was a little unmanageable and maybe she gave him extra medication? Yes, it is possible. But in my opinion, considering the thud happened almost a month after this child disappeared, is when that started being circulated in. And I truly believe that is just a plan B later down the road at some point. We know that a call was made that was a very lengthy call to the stepfather. And that call came in at 9:43. To me, especially with other statements that the mom has made, predominantly saying that they have their family talks while they're eating dinner. She was clearly on the phone sending pictures to Christopher Proudfoot. So why did she wait until 9 p.m. to call him, or 9:43 p.m. to call him, instead of when they got home so he could speak to his stepson, right? Because according to the mother, when they sit down for dinner, that's typically when she does the call and puts Chris on speakerphone and has a conversation with him. At least that's what she stated on one of the Hate Channel's interviews when she was talking to them, is that they always have these calls and they're always around dinner time. Well, this one wasn't around dinner time. This one was at 9:43, typically when most people are going to bed on a Sunday evening to get ready for work Monday morning.
especially if they have children that need to get up and go to school. So that's when their call came in, and they stay on the phone until damn near midnight, when both of them have to be up for work and they got to get a child up for school. That just seems irresponsible to me for military trained people. Just saying. But I digress on that situation. The bottom line is that there's no evidence that this child walked out of his home. We have evidence that he walked in, right? Some people don't want to believe the evidence of him walking in, but I believe the evidence of him walking in. So we have evidence of him going to the home and actually going inside the home. What we don't have is evidence of him leaving, but he's gone. I wanted to remind everybody, March 1st is going to be a prayer vigil. I anticipate it being one of the largest prayer vigils for Sebastian. If you are planning on coming, now would be a great time to take off work. It's going to be on the 1st, so that's a Saturday. So it looks like you will only need to take off Friday, and you can be back home by Sunday, depending on where you live, and be back to work Monday. It's at 2:00. So, or is it at 1 or 2? Let me look at the flyer real quick. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I've got the date and time right. For whatever reason, I believe it was 2. I believe it was 2. Yes, 2 p.m. It's at March 1st, 2 p.m., Celebration of Life Church at 768 Forest Retreat Road in Hendersonville, Tennessee. If you are within several hours of Hendersonville, you should be able to make it there on Saturday by 2 p.m. and be home by Sunday, where you don't even have to take one day off of work at all. So if you guys would like to come there, even if you don't like me, even if you don't like maybe another content creator or anything like that, all we ask is that you check your BS at the door and you be there truly and solely for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and to pray over him and his situation. That's all we ask. That the day that we come together for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, it's going to be a prayer love fest. And if anybody comes there that is not there for a prayer love fest, they will be escorted out. We are here for Sebastian. We are not here for one single person other than this child. We're here to pray. We're here to pray over the situation. We're here to pray that he is returned to his father safely. We are to pray. We are praying over law enforcement. We're praying that law enforcement has the ability, the tools, and the wherewithal to bring this case home. We're there to uplift our hands, uplift our hearts, and uplift our voices for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And if you want to be a part of that goodness, please come out. You are welcome. Again, that's at the Celebration of Life Church at 768 Forest Retreat Road in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That's March 1st at 2 p.m. Again, I hope to see everybody there. We are raising our hearts, our hands, and our voices for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and his safe return home. His safe return home. All right, guys, I want to tell you thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I know we talk about a lot of gunky stuff, but I hope you enjoy your time here. I want you to have an amazing Friday. I want you to have an amazing Valentine's Day. And yesterday evening, yes, thank you, Sandy, for bringing that to my attention. Yes, 2 p.m. Central Time. That's perfect because I'm coming from Eastern Time Zone. So 2 p.m., yes, ma'am. 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you're in the Eastern Time frame, adjust for it. If you're in the Mountain Time frame, adjust for it. You are right. It is Central Time. Thank you for bringing that. I always get confused, so I appreciate it.
So I do hope everybody comes out. I want to thank you all for being here with me today. We were talking about the comparisons of some interviews that happened on the same day, the father versus the mom and stepfather. We had to cut it because it was getting about 7 o'clock, and I know Justin goes on at 7, so I try, because I love Justin's work, and I try to make sure that I don't encroach on too much, but occasionally I just got some stuff that needs to be off my chest. So tonight at 5 p.m. or 5:30 rather, we will be back to finish that segment. So if you guys would like, we're going to kind of rewind a little bit, not too much, because we covered so much yesterday evening. And then we're going to compare those. But I can tell you so far, the whole live yesterday, it did not look good. You really saw the hostility, anger, vitriol, just venom from the mom and stepdad. You had Seth on one interview advocating and fighting for his son. And then on the other interview, they're advocating and fighting for themselves. It was really that blatant. So I think everybody needs to wake up and everybody needs to see this. I am so glad the hate channels made me focus on Seth. It really is an eye-opener. It really is an eye-opener. All right, guys, take care. Oh, I got to do the poll. The poll. Did I do the poll already? I can't remember if I did the poll. I feel like I did the poll already because it's off here. Let's just see if I did the poll. Hold on. Did I do the poll? I think I did the poll already, but I have to check. It's loading in poll. I did not do the poll. Okay. So the poll was, why can't UTI keep it straight? Who was actually in the common area? People from Sebastian's own family reached 72%. There are still 11%, it seems like the same 11% every single week, that believe it's an abductor, even though there is not one scintilla of evidence of that. 9% believes it's a boyfriend-girlfriend issue, and 5% boyfriend-girlfriend or neighbor issue. And the garbage truck construction guy or Uber got the 5%. So I think the majority believes that it was somebody from Sebastian's own family in that common area prior to the call of his disappearance some few hours later. So thank you all who participated in the poll, including the haters and the rest of the audience. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time to fill out those polls. They're only to help gauge the audience here that watch this channel. So, we have a lot of haters that watch this channel. So we have to take their polls too, right? We have to take their polls too. But I'm glad to see that, the people aren't stupid. I'm glad common sense is still ringing true on this channel. So I'm very appreciative of each and every one of you. You guys have an amazing Valentine's Day and show some love today, right? Show some love. Today is a heart day. Are you alone? Show somebody else some love. Treat others as you wish they would treat you, right? It's even special days like this where nobody's really treating. I got to tell you, I was treated this morning. Oh, good gracious. I got so many kisses. I did. I had to clean my glasses off a couple times. I have a sloppy McGee over here that loves little kisses. You want to let's give everybody a little kiss. I know I keep waking you up in the middle of your nap. Let's show some love. Let's show some love, Delilah. I don't think there's enough love in the world. See, look at that Gene Simmons. Oh, she is spoiled rotten. I tell you what, she's just a lover. She gets the lover. Say, I love you, Coffee Club. Happy Valentine's Day. She's such a lover. She is. She I'm telling you, I would be so depressed this Valentine's Day without this little cutie right here waking me up with a bunch of kisses. I got to tell you, she brightens my day. She brightens my world. If you guys don't have the ability, I hope you guys, there's some people that don't want the responsibility of an animal, or they think they can't afford an animal. I got to tell you, she is so low maintenance. You take her for walks, you show her a little love. She's got such a tiny little belly. I spend like $17 on dog food every 4 months. I mean, you know, that's less than, you know, $7 a month on dog food. And her treats, on the other hand, it's a small fortune for the treats, okay? But the dog food itself, you know, that's fairly inexpensive. But I got to tell you, even if I could only afford to give her dog foods and not the luxury treats, she's absolutely 100% worth it. She, you know, I was scared to death to have a little puppy. And I got to tell you, when my best friend knew I needed something in my life, and she gave me happiness. She gave me a smile. She gave me hope for tomorrow, right? This little bundle of fur. This little bundle of fur does all that. Anyways, guys, have a happy Valentine's Day. I'm going to love and snuggle on my doggy today. And I am going with my mommy to a early dinner. So if I'm just a teeny wee bit late at 5:30, please forgive me. Please forgive me. All right, guys, I love you. Go have a great day and rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And for the lovely people that got their gifted memberships, thank you for the gifter and welcome to the family. I do appreciate all your love and support throughout this entire case. We're still not done fighting for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, but we're going to keep our feet to the ground. We're going to keep searching for any information that'll bring this child home. And if you have a scintilla of information that you have not spoken to law enforcement about and you have firsthand knowledge, please call them today. This child deserves to come home. This child deserves justice. This child deserves to know why he was taken from his father for almost a year. And we need to help facilitate that. All right. Have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you later this evening. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.